Hey everybody, day 12 of Budget Watch 2017. It's Friday, it's the 12th, right? Yeah. Man, it's time, it's getting long. So today the House was not in session. I saw a few House members there. I was up here at the Capitol for Generation Citizen, which is a really great organization. They had their Civics Day. A bunch of high school students that had college student like coaches and teachers that kind of guided them to develop action civics related projects to kind of enact in their schools and their communities. And so I was a judge. I got to be a huge privilege to be a part of this. They had a bunch of judges and groups from all over. They're in about a dozen schools in Oklahoma. This is their first year. So I was a judge for projects about a group that wanted to fund teachers and specifically a teacher pay raise. So they looked at all the ways to do it, and they had all the options out there, and they came up with raising the gross production tax. High school students. So they talked to legislators, they talked to industry professionals, got information, made graphs, charts. Seems like high school students are arriving at conclusions that some folks in the Capitol need to heed. Secondly, I judged a group of students. That was first one was from Southeast High School. Next group was from Harding Fine Arts Academy, just a few miles west of here, and they had a project to increase voter enrollment and voter turnout among young voters. Like, they want to help high school students register to vote when they're 18 and teach them about voting. This is huge. It's a great deal. So the principals involved, and they're working with Representative Mickey Dolenz on a bill for next session. He said that he would endorse, and even use one of his 6 or 7 bills he can propose for this. So that's pretty cool. And then also talked to a group from Norman about trying to reduce homelessness among high school students. Who doesn't love that? They're working with some great organizations there in Norman. And then also with a group at Southmore High School that is looking to do some criminal justice reform. Super awesome students. They'd come from a background where many of them grew up exposed to drugs, alcohol abuse in the home. One young lady spoke about her mom and her mom's drug use and how that kind of pushed her to look for options like this. So it's just awesome. A big thing that happened today, the House wasn't here, but the proposal that came out of the House yesterday, Speaker McCall said, we've got a plan, we've got a joint plan, bipartisan, hoorah. A bunch of Democrats came out and said, no, it's not a deal. They're still talking about it. And so some of that plan went over to the Senate today, not the official plan, but a big piece of that was this kind of change to some gaming compacts we have between the government and some tribes. And it would allow games like craps and roulette to be played with dice and a ball. And you're probably like me wondering, how do they play this without dice and a ball? I guess they can play it with cards right now. Some estimates said it would raise like $100 million, and the Senate was like, we don't have enough info. It was pretty split down the middle on who voted for this. Both parties voted for yes, both parties voted no, but eventually it failed. So $100 million that could have been on the table is now not on the table. Could come back next week, but man, we've just got a couple of days. All this stuff has got to get out of committee, I think, by Tuesday or Wednesday. And it's got to pass the floor in both chambers. It's got to pass through both by next Friday. So we're down to just a week. I expect there to be some conversations over the weekend. And then Monday we'll have a bunch of plans kind of come up. But dang, guys, we're getting down to the wire. I'm starting to get pretty nervous. Here's what I'm most nervous about. They're going to pass about $400 million and call it good. And it's not good. That's not near enough. Because our whole is $878 million for this year alone. That's not including a teacher pay raise. That's not including the cuts from last year or the year before that. Honestly, we just keep scooting by. It's kind of like just paying the late fees on a bill, but never paying down the principal. We really need to get a little more money to be able to invest in the future of Oklahoma. Stop. We are never gonna not be 49 if we don't fix this. A lot of car horns going on. People are ready to get home on Friday. So be thinking over the weekend. I want to write up a post with some photos from today because I'm super inspired by these high school kids that are out there trying to figure out how to get people involved. I love that Generation Citizens focuses on action civics. There's a lot of talk that happens and not a lot of folks doing much action. So special props to Representative Colin Walkie for letting me sit in your seat. You didn't have any say in it, but I sat in your seat today in the House chamber during our event. And so I promise I did not mess with your stuff. But someone's green water bottle's in there. I don't know who it is. Anyway, you guys have a good weekend. I will find time tomorrow and Sunday. We're doing this every day. If I hear anything over the weekend, I'll be sure to share it with you. Oh, one last thing. So the whole Republican platform caucus thing that came out yesterday, that's the super conservative contingent of the Republican caucus. Man, so co-chair Representative Strom said kind of publicly, we didn't endorse this plan to call ICE on 82,000 Oklahoma kids. So he backed off of that. And we got statements from Speaker McCall today. Senator David Holt had a pretty good statement. Senator A.J. Griffin, I think, had a statement. Lots of folks coming out. Representative Osborne, Leslie Osborne had a statement. Lots of folks saying, hang on. Just to be clear, this person or these people do not speak for all Oklahomans for sure, and they definitely don't speak for everyone in the Republican Party. That's great. Personally, I would have loved to have seen some of those statements come out yesterday, like right after it happened, because now it's in the Washington Post and the national news, and dang it, like we just can't get ahead of ourselves. Just keep having stuff like this. So my suggestion as far as vision, leadership, legacy goes is you got to nip that stuff in the bud. Not saying to just there's a lot of folks in the middle of the political spectrum that do not agree with that, and they're sick of that kind of stuff being out there. So anyway, hey, better late than never. Thanks for all the statements from folks. Also, bonus props to Representative Marcus McIntyre from Duncan, I believe, Durant, Duncan, southeast of here. For he had a great post on his own personal blog, about how he will not be bullied by big oil. It took some guts, man, and we salute you on that. I think on behalf of Oklahomans everywhere, we are happy to see representatives stand up to big money, special interests, and all that. So, all right, have a good weekend. Have a happy Friday. Enjoy this nice weather.